It's okay not to have a final destination. Once we are gone, we are gone. How do you want to be remembered? So you just learn as you go. You start doing things before you're ready. Everybody would probably choose growth over comfort, because comfort is comfortable until it starts to become painful. Property is a second job. Property investing is freedom. You're asking me what's my goal, what my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
The beauty of life is not so.
Go on.
What I'm trying to say is, it's okay not to have a final destination. It's okay, because then all you're doing, you're chasing something that you don't know when it's going to arrive, and then what happens when it arrives? What happens? You feel empty. Because you chased maybe 20 years of your life to do that, for 20 years to do that, and then that was your ultimate goal.
Like the guy that climbed Everest, they said, when they got to the top, nothing was there.
Yeah, but then what do you do after the Everest? Let's take the people that go on the moon. Yeah, they go on the moon, they achieved one of their wildest dreams. What do they do when they come back? They become depressed. What else can you do to top it up? So, yeah, you're asking me that question, what's your ultimate goal? I have multiple goals. I don't have one ultimate goal. I know what I want to do in terms of what I want to help. I want to build schools, I want to help education, to become better, and so on. But also the communities, I want to be part of the community, I want to help them and support them. But these are not the final goal. These are multiple goals that I have on the way. And the beauty of this is, because you achieve more things along the way, you also change your goalposts. Okay, so you put it a bit further. Let's say I haven't dreamt. My goal was to buy 10 properties when I started. Okay, my plan was 10 properties. Actually, not. My plan was 6 properties in the next 10 years. Then once I got to the 6 properties, my plan was to buy 10 properties. However, I've reached that one, much faster, okay? So the plan was 6 properties in 10 years. I managed to get 26 properties in 9 years. So, that's a huge difference in the goal. But if you ask the Giuseppe of 10 years ago, I had different goals. I didn't know anything about properties in a way like what I could achieve through property, what communities I could help through properties. What I created here with Stepping Bricks, having the club, having the university, having the academy, having the property accelerator online, and so on. I wasn't dreaming about this. So every time you push your goalpost a bit further, because you see that you're making an impact in people's lives, which means now you can top it up a little bit. You can step up a little bit more, and then you feel more responsible. And you want to do more, but it's not about making money anymore. Money is just a currency. That's why it's called currency. So it flows, but it only flows if you provide a good service, if you are fulfilling your duties. Because once we are gone, we are gone. How do you want to be remembered? That's the question I ask my students. How do you want to be remembered? What is it? What's the memory you want to leave behind? What's the legacy you're going to leave behind? Which is not just money, it's actually memories. Okay? Memories of you. So,
what would you say to someone who said, I don't have any ambition?
It's impossible. Nobody...
or I don't know what my ambition is.
It's impossible not to have an ambition. I cannot think of somebody not wanting something. Okay, ambitions is just the same meaning of wanting something, whether it is money or property or a better job or a partner or a good restaurant. Everybody has some ambition in a shape or form. But the fact of being a millionaire, the ambitious person doesn't mean they has to make a lot of money. Ambitious person means that they can achieve what they want to achieve. So if somebody is probably content with the way life is going, and they're happy of having a ceiling that they didn't choose, that's fine. But once you present them that opportunity to say, hey, you created this ceiling, there's no ceiling if you want, what would you do? Everybody would probably choose growth over comfort, because comfort is comfortable until it starts to become painful. Yeah.
Okay, so if we can turn it to your ambition and your goals and whatnot when it comes to like property investing or bettering yourself, or just stepping out of the box. What for you personally? What do you look at a deal or an opportunity? What is your internal checklist before you get excited?
I get excited all the time. I think it's not about the numbers anymore. To me, one of my students, Glenn, used the word I love. He said, these properties that I have now, they are little boxes. So for me, they are little boxes now. And I'm not emotionally attached to the box, but I'm emotionally attached to the results that the box is going to give the families that are going to live in, and also to the business that we're growing, that we can support more people. So for me, the emotion is not attached to the actual numbers anymore. Maybe at the beginning I was like, it needs to be a good ROI, return on investment. I need to calculate this, I need to calculate that. Yes, that's fine to know, but once you know these figures, these calculations, these numbers, then you start to judge by yourself if it's a good deal or not a good deal. You start to understand just by walking into the property, okay, this needs the rewiring because the sockets are on the skirting boards, this needs a new boiler because it's 20 years old, so it's towards the end of the life, this needs probably a new roof or things like that. You start to spot the problems, but also how you can solve those problems. So these are not real problems, but these are opportunities that you can increase the value of the property, and then you can recycle the cash when you refinance and so on. Now I could go on and on and on this, but to answer your question, I get excited about the results that I'm going to get from those little boxes rather than the figures. And it's not just about the results that come back to me, but also, as I said, the results of the people that are going to live into my properties, because probably they're creating a new family. They come in as two, and then they probably move out as four because they need a bigger space, they need to buy a house. We had tenants. They came to us and they say, thank you very much for giving us this property. We're now outgrown the property, so we're going to buy our first property. I was super proud of them. I wasn't worried about losing a tenant. I was very proud of gaining a person in the property ladder, a family in the property ladder, because I'm pretty sure these people are then going to buy more properties and help more people. So it's just a dominoes effect that you get when you make a decision today to invest in property or to change your life.
Okay. Is property really about freedom, or is it just another job with bigger numbers?
Good question. So property is a second job. Property investing is freedom. That's the difference. Because if you're a landlord, that's a second job. That's your qualification. You're a landlord, so you have a job. You're fixing things, okay? If you are a professional property investor, then you leverage that part to a letting agency, which means your time is protected. You are paying for it, but yes, it's the value of your time, which is way higher than what you're paying. And then you can you can make a bigger impact with your time. So no, it's not a second job for a professional property investor. Yes, it is for a landlord. So thank you so much for these quick fire questions. If you have more questions, just put them in the comment below, because I'm more than happy to cover your questions in the next videos. We can even put a screenshot of your questions on top of the video, and I'm going to answer them straight away. My name is Dr. Giuseppe Paladini. I'm the founder of Stepping Bricks, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye bye for now.